an intimate journey through the emotional mathematics of heartbreak. This personal narrative explores what happens when someone you love leaves not once, but multiple times. Following the emotional journey through each painful departure and hopeful return, viewers will experience the complex emotions of waiting, hoping, and eventually understanding patterns that repeat. Set against the backdrop of everyday objects that take on powerful meaning, a coffee cup, a dent in a couch, sunflowers on a table. This story examines how we measure love, loss, and the courage it takes to keep counting heartaches when each one brings us closer to the edge. Before we continue with this heartbreaking journey, I want to welcome you to X by X Confidential. Thank you so much for watching our videos and being part of this amazing community. If this story resonates with you, please smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Now, let's continue with this tale of love, loss, and the heartaches we count along the way. I never thought counting heartaches would become my life story, but here I am, keeping track of each painful moment like notches on a belt. Heartache number 1 hit me when my partner left without warning on a cold January morning. I stood in our tiny second-floor apartment in the city, staring at the spaces where their things used to be. The blue ceramic coffee cup they used every morning sat empty in the sink. The deep dent in our old green couch where they always sat to watch evening shows remained empty. The heavy silence where their loud, bubbly laughter used to fill our home felt suffocating. I never knew pain could feel this physical, like someone reached inside my chest and squeezed until I couldn't breathe. That night, I slept with their sweater, still smelling of their woodsy cologne, clutched tightly in my arms. Heartache number 2 came when they returned 3 months later, in the middle of spring. They showed up at our doorstep on a Friday evening, with rain-soaked dark hair and promises that sounded too good to be true. They were. Despite unpacking their 2 suitcases and settling back into our daily routine of morning coffee and evening walks in the neighborhood park, I could feel something was different. Their eyes wouldn't meet mine when we talked about the future over dinner at our small kitchen table. They came back, but never meant to stay. I noticed how they never fully unpacked that second suitcase, keeping it ready in the corner of the bedroom. Heartache number 3 cut the deepest. It came as a phone call on a Tuesday afternoon in late summer while I was grocery shopping in the corner store near our apartment. With a cart half filled with their favorite snacks, I heard them say, "I'm coming home for good this time," their voice filled with what sounded like genuine emotion through the crackly connection. I spent 5 hours cleaning our place top to bottom, cooking their favorite pasta dinner from scratch, even putting fresh yellow sunflowers on the wooden table we had bought together at that flea market last year. I waited by the door from 6 o'clock until midnight, constantly checking my watch as minutes turned to hours, the food growing cold on decorated plates. They never showed up. The clock struck midnight, and I finally accepted they must have lost their way, or maybe they never intended to find it. The sunflowers wilted by morning, just like my hope. Now I've got heartaches by the number, troubles by the score. Every day they love me less, but each day I love them more. It's a math problem with no solution. A race I can't win, but I keep counting these heartaches anyway, marking each one carefully in the small leather journal on my nightstand, because the day I stop counting will be the day I truly give up, and that's the day my world will end. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking the time to listen to this painful journey of heartaches and broken promises. Your support of X by X Confidential means everything to us as we continue to share these raw, emotional stories. If this resonated with you in any way, please smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to never miss our next video. I'd love to know, have you ever kept counting heartaches even when you knew it was hurting you? Share your experience in the comments below, and let's create a community where we can heal together. Until next time, remember that sometimes the bravest thing we can do is stop counting.